I mean, I wouldn't have believed, except for Peps making it a game 5 in group stage. It's like, well, I wouldn't have thought that was possible, but they did.
Peps took it to map 5 against ENCE in the group stage. Run it back, but win this time.
Run it back, but win. Simple as that. Let's take a look at who is going to make the effort to do just that. Team Peps, of course, had a really, really great run thus far. New pieces slotting in perfectly. I'm having my eye on not just the Tracer player, of course. Naga had a really, really good day thus far in their first match. But also for this particular match, I am keeping my eyes on Exodial because he will go up against Lauren on the other side, and they've both been really standout Sojourn players thus far, and also, of course, made some really good showings on Cassidy.
Yeah, it's definitely a fearsome DPS line going up against Peace and Love. On this side, I feel this is more, for me, I'm like more interested in the support, so I see extra production from Abik, and then on DPS side from Psycho. But to be honest, I see Peace and Love as a pretty significant underdog here. I feel like from what we've seen from Peps, taking it to the top teams, making it look a little bit more competitive. We've seen Peace and Love dominate the rest of the mid-table, but we haven't seen them do so well against tougher opponents. And I think Team Peps are becoming just that, becoming very, very challenging opponents to beat. So we're going to need to see, I think you're right to look at the hit scan. I think that's a crucial element in this matchup, but also I think the tank matchup is going to be really impactful. Can LSU match to Tread, who Tread has looked like one of the better Orisas here in the tournament, very stable, very punishing against any mistakes from the opponent. So yeah, chat's going almost 80% for Team Peps, and I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's been a bit of a miracle run here for Peace and Love, making out a Group D, but then also taking down teams like the Impero and Super Shy as well to advance this far, making it into the top 4 in the bracket here. I mean, that's a fantastic achievement for a roster that was put together pretty close to the event. I'm actually keeping my eyes on Psycho in this one. I actually think if you can get a leg up in the kind of Tracer duel, that's going to give your team a big boon there. So I think Psycho's been a standout so far, playing both the Echo against some of these Symmetra and May compositions. I don't think we'll see that coming out in this one, but the Tracer has been equally on par. So that is sort of like a key for success here.
I mean, if Psycho goes Echo and Naga has to match him, I'm not mad at seeing Naga on Echo either.
Well, Echo.
You know, he doubles, and it looks pretty good. I hope for a close series, but I do think Team Peps should be considered the favorite heading into this one. And no matter what, one of those teams will be going home, and the other one will keep their main event dreams alive. Let's see who is going to get it done. And for all the action, we once again send it over to Joss and Necro.
Thank you, guys. Yes, Peace and Love versus Team Peps. Is Team Peps going to win? They need to win, but can they beat ENCE? I don't know about that. We'll have to wait and see. Could be a big salty run back for Team Peps. Peace and Love stands in their way, of course. Couple more chances to make it to that finals there. Space Station Gaming, they're waiting for any opponent. Feels like they could face anybody right now, especially after that that ENCE game, and they can just brush them off. Have to wait and see though. Jake thinks Peace and Love, a little bit of an underdog here, and I'd have to agree with them as we go into Oasis as our first map.
I do too. Peace and Love, they've put up a very strong fight throughout this group stage, being able to take down Super Shy, being able to take down Impero, but Team Peps is just a whole different beast. Both of these teams also vying for that coveted, like, are we actually the 4th place team when it comes down to what these power rankings look like for the EMEA region. So I think this is a great way to find out. If both of them have staked the claim on it, only one can actually come out on top in this matchup, and I think Peps are just favored. Whether you point to the tank line or not, or just honestly the power that is on Team Peps, they've got the veterancy for sure.
See what Peps want to bring to the table. I think Naga's been very well warmed up at this point. Was already putting up big numbers, big pulse bombs earlier on. Exodal the same. All right, let's have a look. Exodial on the Cass, Naga Tracer, a little dive from both sides. Only difference here, of course, being Laurent. Who's also been a very good player for Peace and Love. Bit of a standout, bit of a central star in the
Car? I think he got hit by a car.
Surely vehicular manslaughter was the culprit. Well, that's not a good start.
I mean, almost has to have a level 1 crook too, so
whoops.
Yeah,
reset.
Not great.
All good. Unfortunately though, that does mean Bayer is fairly far ahead in terms of ult charge for that sound barrier. Luckily FD God is back in the mix. And here becomes the stall. Can Crook stay alive on the point? Oh, FD God back to spawn. Second death of the game is FD God. Oh dear, Tread also falls. That's not going to feel good. Not the best of starts we've seen from Peps today.
Oh man, I mean, you talk about Lauren being on the Sojourn and just how much this player has been able to step up in this DPS role. You just saw the power of the Sojourn right there. A charged railgun shot to the head, easy takeout on a squishier member of Team Peps with a little bit of follow-up damage, and you get to play with so many better sightlines on this map. You can take the high ground with the power slide. You can just take a different angle through a window.
Very early rush. They want to punish him with their spawns. Exodial down, just hiding behind that tree. Fortunately, the tree wasn't thick enough to protect him. Oh, LSU doesn't really want to pop Primal here. In fact, decides against it, especially with Tread picking up 2 kills with a beak falling. Not good. LSU has to come up with something rather large here, hunting for that Lucio. FD got 1 HP. Decides against going for FD God, who looked pretty out of the fight. In fact, Crook caught unawares. 90 HP. Oh no, the boop. Okay, that was a nice boop from FD God there, making sure they can't get through the archway. Good pick up on the Winstons, but a very scrappy fight. And I mean, Peace and Love is still in control. Like, they're pretty chilling right now with Team Peps touching.
Yeah, they haven't
That's
lost
about
it. They haven't lost control, so when Team Peps come back, we're realistically looking at last fight for Peace and Love. But Lauren's down, so what a big way for Team Peps to open this up.
Those Hindenage just flying towards the tanks. Nice little rolling right click there. All right, there you go. Team Peps finally take control of the first point here in round number 1.
That was a big pick. That was a super big pick onto Lauren to remove them from the fight. Didn't give them a chance to use the overclock. So Peace and Love, they do have that coming back into this fight, but the Deadeye is first. So quick to
Don't get booped into traffic. Oh, Bayer. They end up falling. Unfortunate. All good, though. Not many 2 places to hide, to be fair. There's a couple of cars, but you think you're out of LOS, but sometimes you're just not. Sometimes Casti just hits you with that. They do no trading with Naga, which is a little bit unfortunate for Peps, but they do make the executive decision just to run back to the point. Sound barrier from FD God. LSU with no primal, way too deep. Healers, I don't think, even had LOS there, to be honest with you. That central pavilion just causing a bit of a line of sight here.
Good progress, though, being made for Team Peps. Tread is still going to get aggressive at the spawn. Taking some damage now to feed over some ult charge. Level 1 Crook could get this Kitsune Russian line when Peace and Love start to make their way in. Oh, already having a swift step away, though.
No swift step. Psycho with a pulse bomb, too. Oh, pulse bomb from Naga. A little bit of damage. No stick, no connection. Both rushes basically on top of each other at this point, and Team Peps closing in on that overtime mark. Naga getting chased away by Psycho. Wants to make a re-engagement, but it's Peace and Love with the flip. Here comes the Primal Rage from LSU. He's got Exodal in their sights, but can they actually secure this kill? My word, so much damage. Any follow-up? Both into traffic? Can they get him? No! They're dancing on the edge of traffic, and somehow, some way, Crook gets away, but not until Psycho has a little word with him. Crook eventually taken down, same with Exodio. What a nice juggle from LSU, and they do end up flipping the point, putting themselves in OT. FD God with a 2-person sound barrier, and Tread on the point with only Lucio heals. Is not long for this world. Eventually ends up going down. FD God doing a good job of stalling, but the inevitable is here, and Peace and Love take this first round.
Peace and Love took the opportunity to get FD God out of the way so early on in that fight and just ran with it, right? Like, as soon as we entered into the map, a quick pick onto the Lucio just meant that Peace and Love could really get the ball rolling. And I was so impressed with LSU's use of the Primal Rage, like not even just to juggle supports away, but you completely set them apart from the team. That isolation was just a really key way to just make sure that the rest of your damage dealers could keep the damage down onto Team Peps. So a really good round for Peace and Love there to kick things off. I'm interested to see how the second one's going to go once we've swapped off of these Winstons.
TP's out. A little bit of fakey there with the Mauga. Not happening, though. No way. Not happening.
No way. I was like,
Both Lucio's doing, it's like you could put a mirror down the center of the screen there, and they did exactly the same thing pretty much. Just boop each other. Oh, Naga. First blood for Lauren. Oh dear, not a good sign for Peps, but they don't really seem to mind whatsoever. They're trying to kill the tank, but here's Lauren that's putting in the work here on the Sojourn. Oh, Crook. Goodbye. Peace and Love with a very quick fight. Killing Naga that early on is, I mean, I think Naga's a bit shell-shocked by that. I mean, that's the thing, you've got to be careful against the Sojourns. Any kind of small amount of damage, you're just going to die to a body shot, especially if you're a Tracer, right? Your health ball isn't as big as like a Cassidy's, for example. Sometimes that damage can just come out of nowhere and you can just get insta-killed.
Yeah. You actually like do. Tracer is like one of the few heroes, I think, if not the only one that can actually get headshot and killed by a Sojourn. So like, you just sometimes just never know if that's going to be coming in your direction. So yeah, you definitely have to be very, very careful about that. But high ground control right now over to Peace and Love. Peak's going to have this Kitsune rush. Lauren's very low though, so you're just trying to win out this poke war. Who can get the pick first, Lauren or Exudial?
Well, here's the rush. They're strong to the mega health pack. Tread will steal that one away, so Peace and Love can't make use of it. Terror Surge available in just a moment. Unless you're almost getting a spear onto FD God. You saw him peek his little head out. That would have been quite disastrous. Lauren there with a high ground control. He's got a railgun. This overclock is going to hurt. Exodio takes a headshot, then an instant body shot. FD God lays down the sound barrier as LSU ends up falling over. Krook now in the line of sight of Lauren, but look, there's so much disruption. FD God booping the Sojourn down to the low ground, getting them on the rest of his team's level. And that early kill onto the Orisa just afforded Peps so much space.
Team Peps now still have their work cut out for them. Like, they've got to win this round. It's going to have to be off of some really clean team fight wins. Naga can't get chunked out by somebody like Lauren or even clipped by Psycho. This pulse bomb going to be really important to try to just help open up the fight. He can sniff Psycho though, trying to get that flame.
Oh my. Okay,
Oh,
Naga was like
spear.
looking one way, looking the other, instantly turned into a skewer. The high noon from the high ground. LSU falls to the floor in a crumpled mess of scrap metal. 40% for Peps. Exodio trying to hold their own on the point. A lot of incoming fire. Naga comes back and takes care handily of Lauren. Good little, a couple of little stagger kills here. Might not mean all too much as they were still regrouping, but still pretty good.
It feels okay too. Like, Team Peps had lost Naga so early on in that fight. I think they felt forced to use ultimates a little bit sooner than they wanted to. You saw the Terror Surge as well as the Deadeye come out there. But you still have that rotation. You've got the Kitsune Rush now as Peace and Love make their way back. But it's time for Peace and Love to have their own combo as well. Terror Surge and Pulse Bomb on the table for them to work with.
Good stick. That's a lot of damage. Tread needs immediate care. Is going to receive it too. It's going to cause a rotation, though, from Peps actually off of the point. So this is Peace and Love finding a flip on them almost. Team Peps almost baiting them in. There's the rush. Here comes LSU. Terror Surge hits 3. Kitsune Rush with the help of the Suzu. Make sure Team Peps stays alive. A sound barrier on top. Team Peps. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Psycho. Team Peps control the point. Even after Peace and Love kind of flip the script on them. That'll be the second round going over to Team Peps, tying Oasis up.
Seem to get a bit of a better handle on how Peace and Love want to play. As a reminder, these two teams haven't played each other yet in Stage 2. So you have your first litmus test right here is, who are you really relying upon on the team to actually get the damage? What types of rotations do you like to play? How reactive? How aggressive? Like, there's so many different factors you have to keep in mind on how you're going to play the Orisa versus Orisa. So I think, like, as the series goes on, we'll maybe start to see Team Peps be a little bit more confident in making their plays. But it will be Orisa's once again as we head over to University for another shot at this. So high ground, very quick rollout from Team Peps to try to get there, but you can't be too cautious of those spears.
Yeah. We saw it the other day. Tragic way to start off this round, for sure. Like FD God randomly dying in traffic in the first round. I don't know. I want to see a little replay or something of that one. That was a little silly. But here we go. Peace and Love with a decent point presence. Krug's taking a little bit of damage there. You saw Psycho was weaving himself in. You can see now Naga also just trying to tag the Tracer, just trying to keep... Oh, okay. No, all good. Did hit the recall. I thought Psycho might have just fallen over, but Psycho now underground. You got to mark the Tracer sometimes if you're Naga, making sure Krug doesn't have to blow any cooldowns early.
Lauren's on that left side.
Oh, that's not good.
Psycho got picked.
Yeah, picked with a Magnate of all things. I mean, everybody from Peace and Love is like 1 HP. Nice little lamp to get the secure. There's a flip. That was a nice push in initially there from Peace and Love. Psycho, you can see the idea from Peace and Love, and Psycho specifically just trying to get in the back, harass the BAP as much as possible, maybe make him force using Shift or like use the lamp, only with Pulse Bomb realistically as the Tracer, but the Hidden Age is just so, it's a hindrance, right? I mean, that's, you know, its namesake.
For sure. Yeah, definitely lives up to that. But Team Peps have played this so carefully. Like, they're not overextending. They don't want to peek their heads out too much to get randomly taken out by Exodial. But, you know, they're still kind of waiting to have that reaction. Oh, there was a huge spear into the back. And the Immortality Field could come out so fast.
Luckily had the Evo Field, exactly.
Oh, my God.
Out the window, so nice response there normally from the Orisa. Just a spear through the window because, you know, people are standing behind it, but... yeah, you just have to deal with the damage that's flying at you. Another reset for Peace and Love.
Yeah, I mean, the Baptiste is also a big difference maker between these two teams. Peak has felt more comfortable playing the Kiriko throughout this stage.
What's going on? Exodial thinks it's the high noon on Laurent. Okay, a little bit of a messy fight here. You can see Naga's in the backline. Pulse Bomb comes out, Terror Surge, beat, Rush, everything. All hit the Qs. Peace and Love still have to deal with the sound barrier coming from Peps, however, as FD God lays it down super late. That spear going a little bit wide as Peps put themselves back on the point. Don't want to overextend, they're welcome. As the high noon now comes out from Laurent, dodges the spear. Suzu came out just in case, and it is Tread on the point. Takes a lot of damage from the high noon, but Tread is going to be able to shrug that one off by going golden. Flip from Peace and Love too, and here come the kills. Both DPS now down for Team Peps as Krug tries to get out of there. Probably won't survive all too long.
No, going back to spawn, has the Baptiste amplification matrix, so that is something they can help to engage this fight with. I was like, nah, gun. I don't think like gonna stay there, but not a bad way to potentially get a quick pick if somebody decides to, you know, ego PQ there on the main choke. But you've got Baptiste matrix. Team Peps, like they can come back into this one, I think, pretty confidently, as long as they just keep just being reactive when they see Peace and Love make a move.
Whoop! That hit an A through the window. It's a fair bit of damage. Peps find the cap off that window alone. No kills garnered from Peps there. It was just ult and then space control. Peace and Love, that's not a spot you want to be in. You wanted someone perma-touching, but it's so hard at this point when there's a window in the choke point in mid. Speaking of which, no kills still, and a rush use for a retake from Peace and Love. Everybody playing the Pacifist run right now. There's an achievement for that, probably. All right, Terror Surge. I mean, this looks almost too obvious. Nice anti-spear spin there from Tread, but straight to the backline. Grabs 3. There's the Pulse Bomb on top as well. Sound barrier, everything thrown in to try and deal with this Orisa in the backline. Pai's gonna be able to save LSU, but ends up paying for it with their life. 90% for Peace and Love, but Naga is just running rings around Peace and Love right now. Team Peps without control, but they got bodies on the point, and they get the flip. Here comes the Terror Surge from Tread, and that should be it. Peace and Love only need to deal with the Tracer, who's on the point, hitting the recall already. Pulse Bomb goes a little bit wide from Naga, but it's all good. You are forgiven. OT is here, and Team Peps with the victory on map number 1.
Aren't you just saying, heading into this map, Naga's warm.
He's warmed up.
You know, on the Tracer, he's got it. He's done his push-ups or whatever, and coming into this matchup. Like, oh, the Tracer's just so
Yeah, Naga's looking really good this tournament so far. It's really nice to see a player continue that skill. That I mentioned before in the series with Peps, like, I've casted Naga for a long time, like, and it's still good to see him near the top of his game. And with Peps, with a firm sight on those final spots, you want to get to Dallas, but getting past Peace and Love is one thing, getting past Ents is another. Of course, Peace and Love can do the same thing. We'll have to wait and see how we end up in map number 2. Because Control was a little bit back and forth. They went to all 3 rounds.
It's close. It was a close map, and I think both teams just trying their best to get a feel for each other, but also know when they can actually push the gas. I think that's so tough, right? Especially if you've never played against this team. Trying to have to think on the fly and make those adjustments is not necessarily the easiest thing. But on one hand, you have a team that has no expectations on their shoulders and Peace and Love, and a team that kind of feels like they have everything to lose. Team Peps. They've got that legacy they have to keep up. That pressure.
Yeah, I mean, continuing to build it, right? I mean, that's exactly what they want. Going into Dallas would be a heck of a feat for them. It's going to be tough opposition at Dallas, though. I'll tell you right now, the Korean teams are, oh my,
they look so
best in the
good.
world currently, but it's up to EU and NA to try and get those upsets, and Team Peps wants to be there with them. So look at some stats from that last map. Of course, this is the lower semi-finals right now, with a victory here, meaning Ents will be the opposition to get to the grand finals here in main event stage 2. Pretty similar across the board there. I mean, Peps with the 4 KDA and Peace and Love with a 2. So yeah, I Can Bother will be the next map, Rose. Not seen this one yet today. And no substitutions either, I'm just getting word.
Okay, so definitely could still just continue to see the Orisa here. We have seen most teams in EMEA tend to do that versus playing something like the Winston, especially because Winston loses that potency over at that 3rd point. So may as well just kind of like stick to it, just use the Lucio, try to capture those high grounds away, just walking upstairs. But yeah, I'd be interested to see like what, if any, are there adaptations that need to come out from either team to just play a bit more together, aggressive.
I think Peps has done a good job of that in the past. Tread being a new addition to the roster has been a big boon for them for sure. Like the hero pools in general for the tank roster on the squad have been just expanded, sorry. So I think Tread being a bit of a new addition, you expecting a little bit of time to kind of warm up to the team and just getting all on the same page. Like we see Team Space Station, for example, all look like they're like neuro-linked, right? All thinking the same thought at the same time. Like it's gonna take a little bit of time to kind of get there, but you can really see how well Tread has been able to integrate with the team. All right, Team Peps on the defense, Peace and Love on the offense. Let's get a Peace and Love listen in though, as they plan their first attack.
Bro, guys, we can't get loose there to place the Peps. It's impossible. Look at those players. Lock in. Actually, look at those players on the enemy team and think, do you really want to lose out on 3rd place or 2nd place or 1st to them?
Real.
Want to get top 3 in EU. Do you? Like, Tread should not be getting top 3 in EU.
No spear. Come on, left.
Yeah. Who picking right?
Left.
Creasing right. Wide. Yeah.
I'm on the left.
Creasing right. 3-1, crew on.
Come on, just playing.
They're inting. Walk. Walk up.
Just right.
No Suzu all in, no Suzu, careful.
They're swinging right.
Swing right,
Swing right is 5.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm already speeding 2.
Lucio.
Castle.
3-1.
Suzu, have Suzu. Yeah, push, we can push now. Chase it. We go. Now, look Cree.
Take space. They're gonna come on me. Castle. I go boop. I'm just getting one.
Ursula 45. Ursula, going. Cree here, spare. I'm gonna die. Can me left.
Already dies as well.
Ursula dies at least. Kill Ursula at least. Nice, we go fast.
They're fast on B, that Valkyrie. They already just spawned as well. They don't have Paraiso.
We can go for Curio here.
Maybe a little grudge match there from Peace and Love. Just, do you really want to see Tread in the top 3? Like, that's kind of nasty. Okay, I like it. A bit of spice.
Hey, I know, listening to how, like, Peak has kind of instigated some of these other teams. Yeah. I would not expect any less trash talk coming out from Peace and Love, even if it was in just like a funny joking way. But yeah, not necessarily the push that they were looking to have on their first attack, but they were tracking the ultimates, knowing level 1 Kirk and FD got her ready, so at Peak also gonna rip the Kitsune.
Oh, Lauren in trouble, was high in the sky there. Nice pulse bomb eat from Tread. Lauren's like 30 HP, needs some swift healing, but actually catches Naga lacking a little bit in the back. There is the Kitsune rush already used from both Kiri, so it's all up to Lucio's. These beats have to be perfect. This is exactly what FD Gods was. Initially, you know, kind of winning out the frontline duel against Lauren, but Peace and Love staying in this fight a beat, and by being able to stay alive, just not only kind of escorting the Sojourn, but peeling from this Tracer too. We know how deadly Naga has been. Just didn't get a chance to use that pulse bomb in the end.
It's not the first time we've seen Peace and Love do that either. Like, Naga is definitely forced to be reckoned with in the backline, and so Peace and Love, they've played very reactively. You saw in their attack push too just how much that they were turning around to try to just get Naga to use recall, to use a blink.
No way FD God dies there. There's 2 people in the back line. No TP though from a beat.
Oh my god.
Real rough. Lauren also ends up going down. I like the move there from Peps. They wanted to flip on him, make sure the gate doesn't open, but they were a little bit too late to that. The gate initially started to open, and then, yeah, Peace and Love, they ended up sending players all there and everywhere.
Ooh. Use the Suzu to get away. Was not entirely convinced unless he was going to be able to do that. Especially if Tread was going to keep using the Fortify to get closer. But not a bad position for Team Peps to take in this castle. And Naga, Psycho, both once again able to step up to the plate with their pulse bombs.
All right, here comes the rush from Crook. Return 1 from a beak. Focusing down LSU pretty well is Tread and the rest of the gang. And now Naga, nice tracking, nice looking at Lauren there, making sure they can't get this railgun shot off. You play without fear if you're Naga too. Of course, a lot of the time, Lauren is looking for a kill on someone like Exodia or sniping out the backline, so Naga's a little bit more free in that instance.
And Psycho and Naga aren't always marking each other down either. So you do have a little bit more free range if you're Naga to try to go after like Tia or Peak. Exodia, oh my god.
Nice stuff from Team Peps. I mean, they're just playing at a different tempo right now. I mean, Terror Surge is coming in. There's the sound barrier. Peace and Love do not win this fight, especially after beat has been used. I mean, Peace and Love feels like they're going to have to use sound barrier to like even get through this door. And yeah, Team Peps playing on a new level of aggression. They're going to have to back off though, Rose, as they did lose Tread.
But it doesn't feel good if you have to use a sound barrier to engage. Like, yes, of course, you have that at your disposal, but you'd rather use it to be able to extend a fight. I guess a few times we've seen it from teams, but it just feels like that health expires before you're able to actually get an advantage for yourself. Especially if you have to deal with Naga or somebody.
Yes.
It's just going to chunk away that overhealth with a full clip into your head.
Yeah, or pulse bombs in hand. Psycho and Naga now.
Two.
Oh, now Naga's checking Psycho, at least a little bit. Checking the stairs, making sure no one's coming up. Put a banana down maybe so someone slips up before they get up there. Do a little Mario Kart on them. Or Beacon in a little bit of trouble. Only takes 1 shot. Lauren, oh, that was a nice spear. LSU just stops Exodia, actually securing the kill on Loren. And now, uh-oh, straight in the line of sight of Loren with this overclock. Spots FD, God, can he get the final shot? Of course he can. Handily dealing with the front line.
That's more progress here for Peace and Love. And with this Kitsune rush rounding the corner, you can just lay that on top of the card. But the problem is that Team Peps, they also have one. Exodial is going to be shooting like crazy on the Kitsune. And then, yeah.
Nice dodge to the nade there. That Hinder nade would have been a death sentence to the Tracer. I mean, this rush on the point is just so deadly. Oh, Exodial comes out 2 with the Deadeye. Just peeks out the castle doors. And see you later. 20 seconds to go for Peace and Love. What a disastrous fight to lose. Team Peps on the defense. This payload's going to start slowly rolling back, but Peace and Love need to be able to get to this point. It's going to be up to Lucio Traces to touch here.
Just have to touch.
Touching as 5 is really not an option. They're going to be able to go through the castle. It's up to Vaya. Oh, they're going to go in. I don't think that was a touch. No, it wasn't.
Nope. Nope, it's too far away. Like, what good reaction times from Team Peps to see Bia coming? Hit it with the boop. There were spears heading in that direction. There's just so much damage. That was crazy. Like, Peace and Love, like, you call it out. They weren't ever going to get there as a full team of 5 to touch, but they couldn't even get there with 1. And they split the focus so that Tracer and Lucio were coming from a different direction each. Wow.
All right, let's go to Peps listening on their first attack.
I mean, this is really good. How do we want to take this? Do we want to keep going really aggro or what?
It depends. Like, it depends on the CD trades. Like, just play normal, and if you want, we can just hold.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they just impact cooldowns again, I just want to go quicker.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro.
So we'll try to kill our cast when we rotate.
With a shot?
Yeah. I think by fucking... Okay, they could be on like Monkey or something, so we just make sure what they're on.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, let's go. Inshallah, go.
Oh, they're picking that or Isaki really sharp.
I go inside left, you ready for FD?
All right, kind of reminiscent to Peace and Love's listening there as well. A little bit quiet to begin with. Not a crazy amount of talking, just showing up the game plan, making sure they know exactly what Peace and Love are running as soon as they run out the gate. Another reason to run the Widow.
It would have been so sick if you heard the Widow clip. I just wanted to hear the pop-up of like, let's go.
It's going to happen eventually. Oh, Psycho getting the best of Naga there. Nice off angle too, taken by the Soj.
Peace and Love can just set up on this central pillar though. As we saw, like kind of them have a little bit of trouble on how they wrapped around Team Peps. We heard them talking about waiting for those opportunities where those cooldowns are down, and Spear Spin is now off the table here for Alessio.
Psycho perma-marking Naga at this point. Naga requires FD God as well to kind of move with him for fear of just falling over. Kitsune Rush available already from Crook. Rips it super early. I mean, a Beak's 5% away, 4% away, 3% away, 1% away. It's got it. Point's gone though. It's too late. They had a Kitsune Rush at the same time. Maybe they actually pop it as well and just fight it, but unfortunate timing there for Peace and Love, it felt like. 5 minutes on the time bank. Although, nice little quick push there from Team Peps, okay.
Well, it's just so decisive. By the time that you ended up seeing, like, Spear Spin got used, Spear was gone, you also had the Fortify off the table. That's when Team Peps went, yeah, okay, that's our game plan. Those are down, let's just go kill them.
Pulse.
And so
Suzu. All good. High Noon. Oh, what a spear! Oh my Naga! Taking out both supports. Tread. Spin to win. A little pulse on top. Nice double from Naga there. Really clean.
That looks so good. I like Pulse Bomb and Terror Surge combo. We've seen a couple of teams use that now, and it's so good. Like, we'll go back and actually watch the replay, but you see Tread actually go hit the Terror Surge. Oh, the Terror Surge, and then you also were able to hit them while the supports are cowering. Everything is coming up so big for Team Peps right now. They need to win one more team fight. And they might even just be able to get the end of the map right here. Peace and Love are coming in with a lot, though, especially an overclock down a stairway.
Yeah, they don't want to mess with that. They've got to know Lauren's pretty close to it. Still getting the payload going. It's under the bridge at this point. You can see there. Lauren just peeks over the other way. Just thinking of combo names, too. Terror Bomb, like Pulse Surge? I don't know. There's something there.
Huh.
There's something there for that combo.
Terra
Pulse. It's like terrifying pulse kind of thing. Nice little disruption shot.
Yeah.
Just taking everybody. Stand by for FD God, doesn't really want to go first. He's playing in the front line right now, has to back off. Yeah, look, there's the beats. Terra Surge coming in, no Pulse Bomb on top. There isn't one available. Nice little boop into the wall from FD God as well. The boop and the spear spin, and everybody is trapped, huddled in the corner. It's like there's spiders in the corner of your room, but they're just getting smashed with a little mallet, you know? 3 minutes to go. Team Peps walking over the bridge now with a golden box of victory in their sights. Peace and Love with a beak. Spawning last here. It's going to be a little bit of a rough touch. The Tracers marking each other. Look, you can see Psycho's getting marked by Naga. Knows exactly where he is. High Noon being popped from Exodio on the bridge. Gets speared. Woo, nice accuracy. Oh my god. Little 45-degree headshot there. I think that's about done it as well. Peace and Love only have LSU on the point. The gold has already been used. I mean, Naga and FD God should be able to kill the Orisa. Abik may have returns, but it is Team Peps sinking in that payload. I mean, the Sojourn not working out for Team Peps a little bit earlier on, but the Cassidy, they make it work. Exodial's aim is just something to behold. Although Abik does end up coming back and Suzuing for a second time. I guess just that's just Kiriko things, I suppose. There's the Terra set. Eventually it ends, and Team Peps on a match point versus Peace and Love.
Wow. And that map did not feel particularly close. I think Team Peps, they started to figure out, you could hear in their comms, right, when they were planning their attack push. All right, here's our game plan. Let's just go execute. They were marking those cooldowns from the Orisa super well, marking the Suzus coming out from Abik, and just pushing the advantage when they saw that those cooldowns were not available.
All right.
They're so fluid with it.
Really nice stuff from Team Peps. A really good showing too. After their last series a little bit earlier on today. Feeling pretty confident, you'd imagine. And Naga coming out with big kills. He's got to be one of the standouts right now for the team. Exodio as well. I think it feels like a lot of the time in this meta, it's like you take it in terms of being like the pop-off character. I mean, Naga and Exodial do take it in terms with how good Exodial is on the Cassidy and the Sojourn. I feel like I much prefer the Cassidy from Exodial. He's looked very good in setting his team up with the High Noons, and then his team also setting him up, like booping people into his LOS. And then Naga just very consistent on the Tracer. Has not really had a dull moment as of yet. Of course, winner here, and if Team Peps do end up 3-0ing with Colosseo coming up as our next map, they get the prestigious honor of facing ENCE up next, right? It's going to be a tough match, but if you can finish here strong, tomorrow, you're going to feel real confident going into that series, despite how one-sided it might look on paper.
Yeah, I think you're already feeling really strong if you're Team Peps because you took out Twisted Minds, a very tough opponent earlier on already today. And now you're going into this Peace and Love match and you go, you know what? Like, we're doing it. We're up 2-0. We only have to win one more map. And then we get a chance at a really big dog. And Team Peps have always been that type of team that just want to keep being better and better. And wow, yeah, the Naga Psycho head-to-head with Tracer is...
It's funny because Psycho doing more damage too, like a little bit more damage, but Naga getting those final blows and like helping the team out. Obviously, Limbs doesn't equal the final blows. It's like a combination of like assists and whatnot as well. But KDA looking pretty solid for Naga at 18.5 versus 2.3 from Psycho. Colosseo is our next map. I mean, Peace and Love, they really don't want Tread specifically, apparently, being the top 3 in the region. So reverse sweep does start here. Peps making an incredible lower bracket run, though.
They want that.
I love team comms. Keep them coming.
That's so funny. No, it's been so interesting to get the insight. Either we get something really funny out of the team comms, or we actually get like something educational.
Yeah, something educational.
More often than not.
Monkey. Yeah. Orisa, Lucio. Educational. Learn the calls. That's what you got to take away from the team comms.
Osmosis.
Exactly, via osmosis. Looks like we're having a small substitution, though, coming through from Peace and Love. We'll see where they want to sub in and out. Oh, okay. Ice coming in for Peace and Love now as we go on to Colosseo, Rose.
Wow, okay. So it's really interesting because like Alessio has seen most of the play in Stage 2 and Ice has only come in under very specific circumstances to play some To play some heroes. Winston, a hero that Ice is very good at. Orisa as well is another hero that we've seen Ice play just to be able to have like a different type of pressure. So maybe a play style difference for LSU versus Ice.
Well, I'll have to see if that changes up the game here. Of course, the reverse sweep has to start here for Peace and Love. Colosseo, let's load on in for our third and potential final map here in the lowest semi-finals of the main event. Peace and Love, this is their selection too, so they've got to have like a game plan initially coming into it, like we're going to play Ice here, I would have imagined. We'll see how they vibe with it. I mean, Winston, you know, you can play a lot of Winston on this map. In the neutral and the mid, it's very difficult. You have to, like, you win first fight, and then you can control height and low, but Orisa and the rush is very powerful. Yeah. Winston doable, but maybe not advisable.
I think, like, we've seen most often Ice come out with Winston or Orisa. Sure. So if we're on Colosseo, I would assume it would be Orisa. And Winston's just like, that's hard mode, playing a map like this. But Orisa makes sense. Maybe you just need a fresh perspective in the roster, especially if you're already down 0-2. It's not bad to bring somebody in and maybe just refresh the mental. But again, like maybe some playstyle differences that they're also seeing between Ice and LSU for that role.
All right, let's get it on. 10 minutes on that clock. 0 meters on either side as they roll out the gates. Team Peps running the same kind of thing here. Exodio on the Soj. I think we've spoken it to death, to be honest, Roj, but Soj in the mid. A bit better than the Cassidy because you need those. You need that insta-kill. I'm taking bets again. How long does it take for first heal to come through? I'm going to say
30 seconds.
30 seconds?
30 more seconds.
30 more, so about 9 minutes, okay.
Oh, sorry, 30 more seconds, 9 minutes, 9 minutes.
There you go. I'll go at 8:42. There you go. Oh, okay, well, you were closer. There's a nice spear kill onto FD God from Ice. That's a good way to start. There you go. Confidence building for Peace and Love. Not for me, though. Apparently my decisive skills suck, or my picking skills, even.
I mean, look at that. Already out of the gates, Ice is so aggressive. Like, and this is a very different looking Peace and Love roster. Oh my god. Like even getting up close to Exodio, sending him back to spawn.
I like what I see.
Wow, just... I love this.
And this is exactly what you want as well when someone gets subbed in. You want maybe like a change of pace if you are feeling a little bit, not like down about your player or anything, but maybe the team needs something a little bit extra right now, and Ice is exactly what that gives them. I'm glad a lot of teams are willing to use their substitutions, and Ice is coming in pretty strong already with an initial kill. Pulse bomb for Psycho, lands on Tread, did get Suzu, but a Beak is in, level 1 Crook is in trouble, and Tread and Crook end up falling. Good tempo swing here from Peace and Love. The bot had been stolen for a brief moment as Exodio managed to just snipe Ice from across the map. Pulse bomb avoided by
wow,
Kia.
Naga just yeeting that out into the sun, but still not able to take back control of the bot. Team Peps are coming out of spawn way too quickly, even though the picks were coming up in favor of Peace and Love. And if you are on PAL, just don't get split up and don't get picked before Team Peps are coming back. Now your tank is here, Ice is the Terra Surge, but it's a Kitsune Rush first here from Peps as Peace and Love can't respond with one of their own. They just paid away. So smart.
Yeah, Bia does have that sound barrier too for Peace and Love, so didn't want to invest it on that corner. They're more than happy just to play a little bit more tempered. Oh, here come the sound barriers. Oh, Exodial. A headshot from the overclock and a kunai on top. The perfect combo, some would say. Not for the player on the receiving end of it, of course. Oh, FD God. Skates in there. It's always terrifying when the Lucio's hurtling at you at like F1, Formula 1 car speed. Bots are moving again.
Wow, that's so close to getting a pick there onto Habib. But Naga just learning yet another pulse bomb after throwing it out not too long ago. Team Peps can come back, though, to contest this before we do see that first point get captured. But there's still FD God trying to come back into this so low already.
Well, there's the Terror Surge already lined up for Exodio to swing, but it was a bit of a swing and a miss. Pulse bomb on the ground. Oh, rest in peace, Saik. Unfortunate. Peace and Love. though unfortunately losing picks to Naga, but they are winning out the fight. Naga doesn't have any seed. He's had the re there. Maybe only just come on like the frame of him dying. But Peace and Love with a checkpoint. This is a very different team we're witnessing right now. From coming from map number 2 to map number 3. Psycho's going to hang around for a little bit here just to push it a little bit further past that checkpoint. That's actually a pretty important Rose. Worth keeping in mind, of course, with the checkpoint. The butt scratch mode gets initiated, it stalls out for a little bit. But if you get it a couple of meters forward, it can really be a difference maker if both teams are unable to really get it close to that checkpoint. So it might not matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's worth keeping in mind. There's a couple of extra meters.
Hey, you carve out the advantage, right?
It does matter.
Just in case it is worth it. And it does matter, then you want it to actually matter. But no, it's going to go back to neutral now as it's a full 5v5. Another standstill. Any guesses on how long it might take for a pick to come through this time?
Not happening. There's a trace with a pulse bomb. You can't guess now. That'd be cheating.
20 seconds.
20 seconds? Okay, I'll take that.
So like
5-10-ish. There you go. I mean, I think Peace and Love are more than happy to extend that for a little bit longer than 5 minutes 10. They're chilling. They got the lead and the checkpoint. Uh-oh, Psycho. In a little bit of trouble. Well, you got 6 seconds, Rose. Tread's AFK. Just waiting to get healed. Same with Ice now. Uses that spear spin to relocate behind the next archway. Oh, here comes the rush. Okay, kills surely in the near future. Don't need to be a psychic for that to be a thing. Oh dear. Ice in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Exodial comes up large with a couple of kills. And a lot of that was actually just on Tread, to be very honest with you. He just corralled 3 people into a corner and just stood there and spun the spear. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for my DPS players to kill people. 4 minutes to go. Peace and Love lose control of the bot.
Took enough time. Exodial was able to get a charged railgun shot. A big chunk of damage down onto Ice, and now gets to play with this overclock on the bridge. Oh, scatter, 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 scatter.
Loren was so close to going down. Sound barrier comes through to help live through that Terror Surge. Oh, Loren tracked back down, tried to slide up onto high ground, and FD God secured the kill with the help of Tread. Still moving this bot, or at least contesting it for the time being. A Beak trying to heal the Lucio. Be as narrowly at dodge and death there, especially hiding up on this little ledge. There's the kills that you want to see. Psycho taking care of Naga. Very much checking him in this one, marking the enemy traces. Also important. A lot less pressure on your other DPS plus your supports. And this is Peace and Love stopping Team Peps in their tracks. Forcing them to fight on that point just to try and get the checkpoint, but they're unable to do so.
See, it could matter though, because it's 3 minutes and 40 seconds, underneath half of the time bank on this map. Peace and Love, they have an opportunity though to extend their lead. Lauren now with the overclock, Naga just waiting in the wings to see if maybe you could catch like Psycho trying to take a flank. Lauren also standing in that windowsill, but yeah, there you go, Lauren out.
Yeah, very patient from Naga, like you were saying, Rose. And they must have had a feeling, too, that both DPSs were close to ults, if not had them. Of course, we know that for a fact. Nice fight win from Team Peps. Really well executed. Didn't cost them a single thing either.
No, even more to work with now heading into the next one. It's going to be Kitsune Rush here for level 1 Crook.
Oh!
Wow, early pulse from Psycho. Where was the Suzu?
Oh, not sure. Still on the belt, I think, of the Kiriko. Oh dear. That's not the best of starts there for Team Peps. They lose control, and that was their fight to win there, right? I mean, they wanted to use that rush pretty early.
Yeah.
End up just kind of running it down and then get the checkpoint, but... All right, we're back to where we were about a minute ago. And here comes the overclock. Oh, FD God narrowly getting away with his life. Is that rush actually from Team Peps? FD God determined to peek every single railgun overclock shot. I mean, all right, it's still good. He survives. And Naga again kills Lauren at the start of the fight.
Then that's just the fight, right? That just has to be the fight. Lauren goes down. Team Peps should be able to pick up and finish up these kills.
They're going to go for the re-engage.
Wow.
They're going to try and push up these stairs, try and force Team Peps to use something else. Terror Surge comes in for both Orissas. Ice is so low, forced into a corner, taken care of by Naga. And Peace and Love now battling against 1 minute and 50 seconds with Peps in control of the bot once more. Oh, that was really nice. Predicted the falling of Psycho there. Little blink smack. Very, very clean from Naga. All right, that checkpoint is 3 meters away, Rose.
You know?
But they still need to actually activate the checkpoint as well, which is a big pain.
Yeah. But that's where you were talking about, right? Like, you have to get the point, and now you have to win 2 decisive team fights. 1 here would also be enough to seal the deal.
Look at this positioning from Exodio. Someone's got to pay attention. Finally, the spear does land. A little stun at the wall, but I think the damage has already been done. Yeah, checkpoint gathered. Naga just cleans everybody up. So many body shots there. No insta-kill from Exodio, but they're going to take the lead off of it with a minute to go. It doesn't matter what time you do it in. As soon as you get that lead, you're feeling pretty good. And Peps, they back off. They let control of the bot go over to Peace and Love, because now they know getting the lead and having control of the high ground is more important. And Exodio kills Loren.
Oh! No way! Yeah, a pick there is devastating for Peace and Love. Because now they have to back up. They've got to go scatter, and Team Peps, they want to push this.
Force them to the very brink. Psycho forced to recall, Pulse Bomb in hand. Exodio still scared. You can see him playing back, trying to find people that are peeking their little heads over the high ground. A little boop onto Ice to try and get him from perma-contesting bot from the high ground. Pulse Bomb eaten by Tread. And Psycho, he's doing a lot of damage, but where's the initial kills? Where's the value from the Tracer in the backlines? It's not to be had. FD God lays down the beat, it hits 5, and Team Peps still control the bots. Exodio, fearing for his life. Someone was descending from him from high ground, but the rest of his team, they're just dishing out dirt here. 5 seconds to go, a late beat only hits 2. A miracle is required once again. Overtime, the bot is in control right now of Peace and Love, but Team Peps, they have too many players on the bot, and Exodio's, he's dealing with people in the spawn. A 1v1 versus a beacon, he ends up winning it, and Team Peps, by the very end, but a minute to go, end up securing the checkpoint and the bot and the series. A 3-0 for Peps.
Wow. Just in the nick of time, but Team Peps, they've already gotten 2 of 3 checkboxes marked. They beat Twisted Minds, they beat Peace and Love, they have 1 more opponent ahead of them. But Jack, that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take that final victory over ENCE in order to actually make it into the main event at Dallas.
They are so
That's
close.
Crazy.
So close from getting
They're
there.
right
But they
there.
have to face ENCE of all people. Like, that is going to be a rough game, but coming off of this series with a 3-0, they're feeling pretty good. Obviously, the audience, a lot of them were behind Peps as well. I know the desk was pretty high on them going into this series. I mean, ENCE is a tough opposition, but the way Naga and Exodio were playing in this series, if they just kind of keep that up, I mean, maybe a spot in Dallas is in their sights. Let's take a listen, actually, to the winning comms, the very final few moments there from Team Peps.
Literally 1 point, literally 1 point, literally 1 point. One team.
No, Suzu.
Look team still, look team still. Tracer.
Place me.
Okay, who's touching? No one.
Nice.
Let's go! Let's fucking go!
Let's go.
I like
nice team.
And Team Peps got it done, 1 step closer to reaching the grand finals in the main event. What a great lower bracket run they're currently having. But of course, credit where credit is due. Peace and Love, they came far as well. And quite frankly, on that very last map, I did like the changes they did. They tried different things. We saw Ice in the mix. Wasn't a bad look for them either.
Yeah, I think, they came out to a lead on the map. I think they kind of had the opportunity to win for sure, but Peps, clearly the stronger team in the series, right? I'm not surprised they found an opening to come back in the map. Yeah, I don't know if, for me, that wasn't the Abyss. I think Eisen did play well, but yeah, Peps overall, stronger team. They're the team to progress onward. All things as they should be. The real question, though, looking ahead is, can you beat ENCE? It's a different level. Peace and Love, yes, you get that win. Looks easy, but ENCE is a team on a whole other level, and there's so much more complexity to that matchup with all the comps that a team like ENCE will field.
Well, they're feeling good, and I feel like they've been improving throughout. I think we've seen some pretty clean engages from Team Peps here. So yes, obviously ENCE is on a different level, but I'm never gonna count them out, Jay.
Agree.
Never gonna count them out.
I think, and Peps played them close last time. The big question in my mind is in the compositional diversity, because here in the mid-table, we're seeing almost exclusively full mirrors. The only swap we're seeing is the Cast and the Sojourn, but as long as you're both playing Kiri, Lucio, Orisa, the game is pretty consistent. They might have a good read on this style, how to play the matchups here, But what happens when ENCE throws a Sigma at you or something of that nature, or more Winston comps come out? I think the game changes pretty drastically. And I'm not saying Peps can't do it. I'm saying we just haven't seen them be tested by those other comps and come out looking as good. I think they're very comfortable in the mirror. And so if ENCE gives them a mirror, you know, that's, I'd say strategically, I think that might be a mistake for ENCE. But at the same time, you are going up against players like Kepster and Kai on DPS.
Yeah.
So I think they're really going to have to focus the prep tomorrow because, you know, any of these teams, if Peps, if they can make it to the grand final, they can beat ENCE, they could be going to Dallas as well.
Yeah, we'll see what ENCE brings to the table. Obviously, against Twisted Minds, they also played some of that Sigma, right? Kai was on the Bastion for a couple of maps as well.
Yeah.
And so that is something we've seen from ENCE consistently. But we know that, of course, they have this Orisa composition up their sleeve if they want to play it. Now, player of the match is going to be Exodio. A youngster, up-and-comer here on the scene, 17 years old, just popping heads here in the OWCS. It's always good to see new talent coming into the scene. And, you know, super impressive there as well. Like, especially you saw in Colosseo, the push map at the end there, just like conjuring up picks out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that is really why you love playing the Sojourn, right? Utilizing that railgun and finding picks early in these compositions. That is what you want from a Hiscan player, but also the Cassidy early on here as well. So, yeah, he's been performing to the absolute top here in OWCS.
Yeah, and having both of those heroes on such a level in your wheelhouse is an absolute game changer for your team. Exodio definitely far exceeding any expectations anyone could have had, integrating himself so well into this roster. And of course, having such a performance next to someone like Naga, who's been around for such a long time, absolutely phenomenal. So of course, that is going to earn you the player of the match, but also you're going to make it into our post-game interview. Exodio joining us now for a quick chat. First of all, of course, congratulations. How are you doing?
Thank you. I mean, we're doing really good. It's exciting to win, and maybe just like I'm very, shy to talk on like how the people see me, but I don't know. It's just very exciting to win like this, like 3-0, because we're like expecting them to just pull up some fight, but we just rolled them. So it's fine.
It was dominant, man. And honestly, your performance and your team thus far in the main event, it's been so exciting to watch. Looking ahead, we are getting closer and closer to making it to the grand final. Your next opponent is going to be ENCE. How do you feel about the compositions that we've seen ENCE having in their wheelhouse? Do you expect them to take it to a mirror match? Do you think they're going to throw a Sigma at you? And if so, do you feel like you can match that? What else do you have?
I mean, we're pretty confident on the mirror because I just think like mechanical. I mean, I'm at my peak level right now, so I'm pretty confident on winning all these duels. But I really think that they played a lot of Sigma recently, so I might think they're gonna pull up the Sig right now. But if we're on a mirror, I think we're gonna do really good.
Yeah, so I'm curious about your personal journey, Exodio, coming into the scene now, playing in OWCS, having great success. What are your personal goals looking forward, right? Whether this event going to Dallas, do you want to make it to an international LAN, or have you even thought about stuff like that? Did you even think that was an option, I guess, before getting to this point?
I mean, I wasn't really like getting this option because I was on sheer cold back then, no? And we got like top 8. I wasn't really imagining like going for aiming for Dallas. But right now, at this point, we're just like aiming for Dallas at 100%. So I'm pretty confident on my team, and let's see how it goes.
Yeah, you talked about the fact that you were on sheer cold for quite some time there, but you're also relatively new to the scene here. So I want to know more about you. How did you decide to pursue competitive Overwatch? When did you get into it? And what's the journey been from the start?
I mean, I just got into Pro Overwatch like a year and a half ago. I don't have like that much of a career, but I don't know, it was like a improvement like so fast that I just got like addicted to it. I just wanted to keep going for more. So just like becoming one of the best hit scans out there. So I think right now I'm just one of those, so I'm hungry for more, just hungry for being the best of all.
Well, we're hungry to see more of you as well. An explosive performance. It's been so much fun to watch you in action. Exodio, thank you so much for taking the time, and best of luck in your next match.
Thank you.